indictment says that Trump and the co-conspirators exploited the violence and chaos of the January 6th attack. In the aftermath, more than 1,000 people have been arrested in connection with the breach of the U.S. Capitol. The special counsel praised law enforcement who faced down the rioters that day. Listen.
The men and women of law enforcement who defended the U.S. Capitol on January 6th are heroes. They are patriots and they are the very best of us. They did not just defend a building or the people sheltering in it. They put their lives on the line to defend who we are as a country and as a people. They defended the very institutions and principles that define the United States.
As many as 140 officers were injured that day. One of those officers is D.C. Metropolitan Police Officer Daniel Hodges. He joins us now. Daniel, it's good to see you again. I mean, it is, no one will ever forget the video of you being crushed as you all were trying to hold the line and hold back rioters on that day. With that in mind, what does this indictment mean to you as someone who was on the front lines defending the Capitol that day?
Well, this indictment has been a long time coming, and I'm just grateful that it's finally here. And in so many ways, it's just the beginning, really. So while it is great to finally see some movement on that front, it's just another step in the process. So I'm looking forward to the trial, and I'm looking forward to being as speedy as it is effective.
Does this feel like accountability to you?
Like I said, it's a step in the process. Accountability is the end of the trial when he is hopefully found guilty of his crimes and then sentencing is carried out. That is personal accountability for Trump and hopefully his co-conspirators. Ultimate accountability would be cultural, how the name Donald Trump would be held and discussed by Americans, but that's a long way off.
What do you think of that statement from Jack Smith, noting the heroism shown by you and hundreds of other officers that day? I mean, the fact that he spoke for only a couple of minutes in announcing the indictment, and as part of it, he spoke to you all in that time.
Jack Smith was very free with his praise, and I'm very grateful for his acknowledgement, and I really have to return it that he took this assignment knowing that he's going to put himself in the crosshairs of so many pundits and people who are members of the Donald Trump cult, but he's clearly done his job. He's put together a very compelling indictment, and I'm grateful for him and his team and the work that they've done.
In a very different reaction to all of this, a statement from Donald Trump and his campaign after this indictment is comparing the case to the persecutions from Nazi Germany. The statement from his legal team is that this is all protected First Amendment speech. He's expected to plead not guilty when he's arrested and arraigned tomorrow. And I want to play for you also the statement from one of the unnamed, uncharged co-conspirators, Rudy Giuliani, in reaction to all of this.
Violating the right of free speech of an American citizen, never mind whether he was president or not. It could be anybody. It could be a homeless person. You don't get to violate people's First Amendment rights, Smith, no matter who the hell you are, or no matter how sick you are with Trump derangement syndrome. And this isn't the first time you've acted like an unethical lawyer. It should be the last.
What's your reaction when you see that? I mean, that encapsulates just some of the reaction that we've heard from those supporting Donald Trump. What's your reaction to that?
I'm not a constitutional scholar, but I don't think the First Amendment covers, inviting tens of thousands of people to D.C. to be your foot soldiers and then telling them you have to fight, fight, fight for your country, knowing that they're armed, sending them to the Capitol, and knowing what they are capable of, what's on their minds and in their hearts. That's an insurrection. That's not protected by the First Amendment.
You're still on the job. You're still working. I know that you told my colleague recently that your life, it hasn't changed it's changed your life. You've never needed to experience something like that, but you're back on the job. You're still doing what you need to do. This is all now happening in the middle of another election cycle. Are you concerned, or I don't know, do you have any fear about what this trial could mean for the country, considering the violence that you saw on January 6th?
Well, I'm more afraid of what would happen if there wasn't a trial. If Donald Trump was allowed to do what he did and face absolutely no consequences. That would just mean that it was only a matter of time until someone tried it again, because I would call it a dry run, but it wasn't a dry run because it was a very real attempt. It was, but with regards to future violence, I think the FBI making consistent arrests over the years and continuing to do so today has been a huge measure against any threats of future violence of that nature, because everyone's afraid to come back to DC now. They try to save face by saying any rallies or marches are a honeypot operation, but the truth is they just don't want to get arrested, and which means that what they want to do is commit crimes. So the arrests have been effective, and I think that any future violence would be of a smaller group or smaller nature, but potentially destructive as well.
Daniel Hodges, it's good to see you again. Thank you so much.
It's good to see you too. Thank you.